Welcome back to the shop for another episode of Let's Make a Knife. On today's episode, I'm going to be making a pair of liner lock folders. So, it's going to be really exciting. They are going to be made out of all materials that I have forged. The blades are going to be, one of them is going to be made out of this piece of stainless Damascus. This is 12 layers of AEBL and CPM 154CM. This has been a project of mine, making stainless Damascus and figuring out all the little nuances, because it's quite the process, and it's definitely not easy, and it's very time consuming, very expensive, but the results are just so beautiful. So I have this nice piece here for one blade. I made this a few weeks ago, so I was unfortunately not able to film it, but today I'm going to be making a second billet, and that billet is going to be pretty special because I'm going to be putting some CPM 3V in the middle, and we're going to be doing a stainless Damascus San Mai. So it's going to be really, really cool. In addition to the stainless Damascus blades, the scales will be made out of Titanium Damascus that I made, and carbon fiber. We're doing a kind of a split handle design, so hopefully it's going to look really amazing. So I can't wait to bring you all along on the journey. It's definitely going to be a challenge. Making stainless Damascus is tough, and I'm going to show you how I make a billet. So I want to show you real quick the template that I will be working from. I'm going to be making one of these and another design that I haven't quite finalized yet. So I can't show you that one, but this one I'm really excited for. It's a nice large form factor folder. Without further ado, we're going to jump on the grinder and make some sparks. These are stainless steel. They've already been rough ground. I took all the big scale off with a 36 grit belt, and now I will change it up to a 60 grit belt to clean up everything. Having that finer finish on your stainless steel when you're making stainless San Mai or stainless Damascus is really important. There's a couple little nuances that I'm going to mention here of just how I make my stainless Damascus and stainless San Mai, and anything that has stainless in it that's forge welded. So, let's make some sparks. I will dip the billet in kerosene as an added protection against oxidation. And into the fire. Now I'm going to let this soak in the forge at about 2100 degrees, 2150, right around there, for about 45 minutes. We've been soaking for 45 minutes, so it's time to set the welds. have this big old piece of 3V here. You can disregard the kukris for now, that's a separate video. This right here is a piece I'm going to cut out. We're going to throw some of that in between our stainless Damascus. Now I'm going to take this really hot billet, I'm going to throw it in my kiln, and I'm going to do that because I was watching something, a documentary on YouTube on how they make the true Wootz Damascus, and part of the problem they had with it was that it was brittle when it was being forged after it was cast, or after it was melted and then solidified. And their solution was to decarb the outside of the billet, and it creates this really tough outer layer that lets you forge the billet without cracking it. So I'm going to give that a shot. We're going to let the outside layers of this decarb a bit so that we can get a good forge weld and be able to forge this out without having to worry so much about cracks. So we're going to give that a try, and fingers crossed that it works. I'm going to thin out this piece of titanium Damascus because it's very, very thick. So I'm going to pop this in the forge and carefully thin it out a little bit and hopefully add a little bit more pattern. And I'm just going to let that sit there and cool on the anvil. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. We have confirmation. It was successful. that is where I'm going to cut this video. I have a piece of titanium Damascus all drawn out here, and I left it very wiggly so that when I grind it, I will expose a lot of different layers. Even though it's a low layer billet, it should still be very, very active. So I'm really excited to see that. There will be titanium Damascus on both folders, and I'm really, really happy with how that CPM 3V Core Stainless Damascus San Mai turned out. It is annealing behind me. Days. It's been quite the last couple days forging all of these crazy materials. You didn't get to see me forge weld this, just draw it out a bit. There will be future videos where I show a little bit of how I do my titanium Damascus. But for this one, I did not have any of one of the alloys. I was out. So I had a billet that I already made, had wanted to turn it into some folding knives, and so that was the billet that I used. This is the second folding knife that I'm going to make. I use these as a kind of a rough outline template, and it also helps me figure out where to put stop pins, as well as the pivot itself, and it gives me a good idea of where I can put the detent ball. So these little G10 templates are very, very helpful for me. I'm really excited to see how this all turns out, and hopefully what I'm going to do is this area here is going to be milled out so that it will be both a flipper and a flipper tab, as well as you can put your thumb in there and flick it open. So that's the second design. So I want to thank everyone who has continued to watch these videos. It's been really exciting making them. I've learned a whole lot. I've pushed a lot of my own personal boundaries, and I'm excited to keep pushing them. These are going to be 2 liner locks, which I have not done yet, which is kind of why I wanted to do them, because you can do a lot of really beautiful stuff with liner locks. You can do wood-sided folding knives, you know, where they have wood scales over a titanium, you know, liner. And so I'm really excited to get that game down, because I really, really love desert ironwood. In terms of looks, it's one of my favorite materials to work with. It smells terrible, but it's so beautiful. So amazing. So, I just want to thank everyone once again who has been watching, who continues to watch. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. All of my information is down in the description below. You'll find my website there if there's anything you want to order. My books are open, and you can check out my social media. You can keep an update of all the projects I'm working on, not just the ones I'm doing for YouTube. Very excited to continue making videos for you. Thank you for watching, and you have a wonderful rest of your day. See you on the next episode of Let's Make a Knife.